Good morning, everyone. It's Rifgal. We're playing some more Pathfinder Adventures card game, Rise of the Runelords. We're at Trouble in Sandpoint. I did start this one briefly, so I have a vague idea of what's going on with it. And then I got a phone call, so I had to start it over. I also was doing horribly. I got 2 really bad rolls. But that's totally not why I started over. Yep. So, we're going to go ahead and get started on this. Days later, Amiko has disappeared. Way to bury the lead. Pardon me, have you seen Miss Kaijutsu? A few of us are growing concerned. It's unlike Amiko to leave without telling anyone. I've not seen her in recent days. When last we spoke, she mentioned an appointment with her brother, I believe. Suto. This is more dire than I expected. He's a lost soul and may have brought danger upon her. Suto is her brother. He was part of the goblin attack. I'm surprised he still lives. Okay, yeah, we totally beat him during the goblin attack. Okay. After encountering a wrathful Sinspawn henchman, roll a d6. On a 1, we lose a card off the blessing stack, which is our clock. Irilium, we can use arcane or combat to fight. Before we act, choose a character at your location and summon and counter a wrathful Sinspawn henchman. If undefeated, succeed, or move to a random other location. Okay. Corvus, Goblin Mutant Henchman. If undefeated, after you act, he deals acid to all the characters at the location. Undefeated. Okay, that's not that bad. We just have to make sure we beat him. And then these are Wrathful Sinspawn. Before act, succeed at a wisdom check, or the difficulty of your checks is increased by 1 for the rest of the turn. And then when we beat them, we roll a d6. If we roll a 1, we lose 1 off of our clock. Lem is going to start with his bow in hand. Let's see. So Glassworks has a few monsters, a trap, and a pretty good variety of other stuff here. Wisdom check. So one of these two, either our paladin or a ranger, will be good for that. This one has tons of monsters. Summon and defeat a wrathful Sinspawn henchman. So you have to fight 2 of the Sinspawns in a row to close it. This one is probably good to burn through, possibly with a second character there. This is one I hate. Shrine of Lamash2 is whenever you encounter Blessing, you take 2 damage. It sucks. So I will probably save that one for last. It lowers the chances of us having to burn through the whole thing. 1d6 to checks that fire, and intelligence or knowledge check. Lots of monsters. The old light is probably decent for our wizard. It doesn't have a ton of spells, though. I just noticed. None of them have a ton of spells, so this has the most. He has lots of things that help blow monsters up, and is good with recovering spells. Gets to draw again in that situation. The Junk Beach. When you acquire an item, you may banish it to draw a random new item to your hand. Okay. So if we don't like one of the 3 items we can get a second one. Poison Trap Henchman. That's annoying. We don't have anybody who's great with that. And then Village House. When you encounter an ally, you may recharge a card to automatically acquire it. Okay. And when closing, you can banish a card. That's not terrible. It's pretty straightforward. 3 allies. So my thought here is, let's start out with something like this. And I think I'm going to actually have Lem start in the glassworks so that these two can support each other with their abilities. This turn order looks fine. Okay, let's see how it goes. So, Catacombs of Wrath, we're gonna go ahead and just load this up. Siren. Siren's pretty nasty. We also don't have any weapons. This starts out with a wisdom check of 8. Let's see, so we can do that. Yep. Blessing of Shaylin, non-combat wisdom check. I'm okay with that. We don't want to go too overboard with her right now because she doesn't have any of her weapons drawn yet, which is kind of important. Charisma checks, intelligence checks. Charisma seems more likely to come up. Goblin Commando deals 1 ranged combat damage. Full encounter. We can recharge to reduce ranged combat damage by 1. And unfortunately, that means Inspired Grace is going to do not what we want. So that's going to dump her shield to add another die. I think we just go all out here and count on her being able to heal up. Okay. She gets to redraw. She has Cure and her Warhammer. She doesn't have any armor. Let's see what the Old Light has to offer. Perfect. His ability goes to his hand, and we get to explore again for free. Perfect. Wrathful Sinspawn. Okay. I guess we're just doing this. Wisdom check to see if the encounter gets harder. We'll go ahead and just roll. If it gets harder, it gets harder. I'd rather add bonuses to 1 roll than 2. 91% there. And I think we're actually going to... add that for a little extra boost. We'll try and recharge the Acid Arrow. No, we lose Acid Arrow. That's unfortunate. I like that one. And then on a 1, we lose 1 off of our clock. We have 30 turns, basically. And then we can try and close the location. 75% chance. Pretty good odds. Perfect. Early close for him. I'm okay with that. We'll go ahead and just continue. Glassworks. He's got a weapon and a tool ready. We have some pretty good options. Skeleton Horde, really? Skeleton Horde is probably my least favorite barrier. Basically means you have to fight. Everybody has to fight one. Okay. Yeah, we'll just not risk it. We would have lost if we hadn't done that extra die, so I guess that's good. Shock Longbow. Recharge. Blessing? Why is that? That's weird. Okay. Shock Longbow makes it 2d8. Dexterity or range skill. Oh, that's why. Because if we do the archer, it turns it into a ranged combat check. Okay. And then we're going to have him not use Sniper Shot, apparently. Great. Well, I guess we toss another Blessing. I'd rather get it than... Or I'd rather spend a little more. Oh, man. That's rough. Archer and I guess Sage. Warhammer. Smack, smack. Oh, that's why he couldn't support, because it's his turn. And I think we're just gonna explore again. The Traitor. Discard a random ally. We don't have one. And then we'll have him recharge one to support. I'm trying to make better use of the recharge abilities like Sniper Shot and Bardic Performance. Missed. That's unfortunate. Okay, we'll call that good, I think. Pretty good turn. Let's see what's next. We'll know what's coming up. Damage dealt by the Hill Giant is dealt to all characters at the location, and it's a combat check 15. So Lem here, we know what he's gonna have to fight is the Hill Giant. And we don't have a lot of good options for it, honestly. So I think what we're gonna do is move. And let our buddy deal with the giant. Because I don't have any... I guess I have one Blessing of Gora. So theoretically I'd have 3d8 to get a 15. I guess that's doable. Plus I could do another d4 or 2. Okay, yeah. Just seems like a little bit of a risk, but we'll do the one attack. Shock Longbow. Wait, why is it combat 19? It says check to defeat 15. I'm confused. And we may be screwed. What am I missing here? Does this not work when they're at the same location? At another location. At another location. Okay, I totally missed that, and we are totally boned. Great. We rolled really well. I got lucky. We're gonna go ahead and cure on himself before we roll, or before we get everything back. And we're gonna try and recharge. Did not recharge. Basically I want to make sure I get at least one cure back in the deck. When you fail a check, discard the top. Okay, so him failing that is why it's discarding a card. Okay. He redraws. We now have blessings. Okay, start of turn action. Crusade. We get to see what the top is. An ogre. Deals 1 combat damage to each other character at the location if undefeated. Okay. So now we have add a d4 and Rory. Okay. And then we're going to cure. Only 2. That's unfortunate. Hopefully we'll get the recharge, though. Nope. Okay. So I kind of want to just go down to this one and clear it out. Like, focus these couple down, and then we can spread out to get those last few, so that we can have somebody to force them closed if needed. Ambush. I think we can discard Thieves' Tools to just avoid it. And I don't think he can recharge successfully, but I will roll anyway because I haven't learned nothing. And I think that's a free explore. It is. Bunyip. Card to succeed at a stealth check or to evade a monster. We should be good on the Bunyip. We know we can't do the wisdom check, but that's okay. It just means the combat check is a little higher, and he's very good at combat checks. Except for the part where I don't actually have an attack for him. Whoops. That's problematic. Okay. So we're gonna do recharge 1. Combat dexterity check, is that what he's using? Combat strength. Nope. Okay. Oh, he has aid. Let's do that first. That feels pretty solid. Did I not add Shocking Splash in at the end? Whoops. And Lem gets to try and recharge. Good. I forgot to use the holy symbol for that. I keep screwing up. Okay. I am actually going to discard to explore, which would be okay. But I think... yeah, we'll roll discard to explore. However, I'm literally just going to use invisibility to evade. That was my plan, because it gives him a chance to reload the card and basically redraw a few cards without just discarding. There's 7 cards left here, only 1 monster, so we're gonna try it. Longbow +1. I mean, we'll try. 1 off. That would have been really nice. Honestly, I keep messing up on these support actions, because different people have different ones. We'll try again. Okay, that takes out the last monster in the deck, which actually is really nice because that means Lem can now burn through a bunch of other stuff in the deck pretty easily. Theoretically. We'll continue there. Draw a card. We know what it is. It's an easy diplomacy check, theoretically. We get an ally. What does he actually do? During your turn, reveal this card to put it on and put it on top of your deck to examine the top card of the location. If it's a monster, you may shuffle that monster back in. after you play this card, roll 1d12. Okay, on a 1, we fight the Sandpoint Devil. This doesn't feel great. I think we just roll. We just discard. Inflict. We'll try for that, sure. We'll take it. She gets to look at the top card. It's a Goblin Snake. Okay. Strike the Goblin Snake in and about the head. Difficulty checks go up by 1, but she has a big ol' warhammer and hits things hard. There's Corvus. Okay. We'll recharge 1. That feels pretty good. Close location. She does have to defeat another one. We're still at check difficulty +1. That puts us at a 10 total. That feels okay. And we don't lose a card off the blessing deck. Awesome. So that's 2 down. So we have 3 locations left. The Junk Beach, which has a couple monsters, a couple items. The Village House. When you encounter an ally, you can recharge a card to acquire it. I feel like that's probably not bad for him. He has a big hand size. Being able to just not worry about the check and toss something like Arcane Armor back into his deck feels like a good way to kind of cycle through his hand without hurting anything. He does have to banish a card, but I feel like that's probably okay. Free Blessing. Monster in the Closet. If you succeed at the check to defeat the monster in the closet, summon and encounter a Goblin Raider. If you do not defeat the Goblin Raider, the monster in the closet is undefeated. Okay. I hate that we had to use that. We have to summon the Goblin Raider. So we're going to use Lightning Touch to blow him up. We'll try and recharge that. And he does not have any more cards. I guess we just draw, or do we want him to go to a different location? Let's just draw. We should be getting, yeah. I was gonna say, we should be getting close to the Sin Spawn. So, pretty good odds there. We'll recharge the worthless ally card to get an extra D4. Perfect. We did not roll a 1. Get to close it. I just realized we could have added a D6 to that. Okay. Start of turn actions. We're going to trade. Inflict for Cure. We are going to cast Cure on himself. We will attempt to recharge using our holy symbol, which succeeds. So all of our cures are back in deck, and then we will leave. I think we want him up on the junk beach. I'm not sure, but it feels like it could work. That's unfortunate. We don't have any good support for him right now, so we'll just cast it, I guess. At worst, we take, what, a combat damage? Discard the archer. Apparently I need to get rid of the archer anyway for him, because he does not have ranged combat. But now he has aid, so the people that he is helping are going to be in good shape. I think we're going to have her go... Have her go here? Or the village house? Let's go to the village house. Rat Swarm is bopped in and about the head with a Warhammer. Discard the Warhammer, or the Militia. He's gonna get a Soldier. I guess we do a... Oh, it's going off of a melee check? Okay. No big deal. Stride. He gets it. We do Explore Now for free because it was a spell. And we get a weird goblin as an ally. We'll go ahead and we're going to recharge a card. We're going to recharge Stride to automatically succeed. What does Poog do? Recharge to add 3 and the fire trait to a combat check. That's really good. Bury this card to recharge 1d4 cards. That's really good. And discard this card to explore your location. That's really good. That's a good card. Potion of Vision. We'll go ahead and... should be good. And then move on. And we have to discard 1. Okay, the Glassworks is done, so he gets to move on. And I guess we go here. The Junk Beach. We're gonna do Collapsed Ceiling. And we're going to refresh... Oh, wait, no. He's currently using Fortitude. If I do this, what does it turn into? No. If I do this... Recharge. Okay. And we can have Lem... We'll put the dog back. There we go. Discard to look at the top 2. I think we're just going to keep it as is. We can look at the top 1. It's an ogre. That should be fine. I'll Although, actually, does he have Cure right now? No. Okay. Want to make sure. Ogres do damage to everybody at the location, so it's worth going a little bit overboard, I feel like. Goblin Warrior. Not the best odds, but we got it by 1. We can recharge aid. When we get the option to level up at some point here, I want to make sure we get him trained in ranged combat if we can, so that he can actually get or use those extra bonuses. Okay. We know that there's not a monster. Okay, actually, wait. We know there is 1 monster and 2 other cards. So we are going to use her ability, because if it's not the monster, that's going to go to the bottom, and now we're going to draw, ideally, a monster. There's the boss. Okay. You dare to intrude upon the mother's work? I fear that you are a creature out of compassion's reach and must be purged from Sandpoint. Your slaughter will feed the rune well just as Pseudo's did. Okay. So we get to close this location first, which is the poison trap. Unfortunately, we're going to have to do that again, but that's okay. And now we get to fight here. Wait. Choose a character at your location to summon the Wrathful Sinspawn. Okay, so we're going to just have Erlen take out the Sinspawn, because why not spread it out? Also, he hits like a ton of bricks. Hopefully this rolls well. So we know she's going to end up at the Shrine of Lamash2, unfortunately. So we're going to do that. We're going to do Shocking Splash. I feel like that's oh, there we go. Recharge 1. Pretty good odds. We'll try and recharge Shocking Splash. Get to close it for free. Unfortunately, that means we lost that longsword that she could have gotten. But the village house is now closed. So we get to move to... I guess we go... We really want to close this first. But it's not that great. Like, his odds of actually achieving anything there aren't amazing. You know what? Screw it. I really have specific people that in mind for the other one. We got really lucky. Okay. We got really lucky. So we're just going to go ahead and blast him with Force Bolt. It's his most powerful attack. We will recharge Force Bolt. It does not recharge. Sad. Now, unfortunately, we do still need to summon and defeat a poison trap. We get to draw a card? Okay. It's not a spell, so we don't get to draw it. That looks much better. He does have a +1 to dexterity. So that actually ended up working. On a d6. Random items to the location. Okay. And he gets one. Okay. So now we have this closed. So we can go to the Shrine of Lamash2 without it being a concern. Now I'm going to discard the spyglass. We get to look at the top 2 and arrange them in any order. Now the reason we're doing that is really simple. We want to make sure that we don't draw a blessing. That was probably a mistake. Apparently. Fortunately, that means it was a shuffle, but we also now get to look at the top card again, so we can tell it is a blessing. So, theoretically, we either want somebody who can take 2 damage to do it, or we want to not worry about it for the time being, and I guess go slow. I'm literally just going to have him waste a turn picking up an item because I don't want him to get the blessing. She can use Crusade. No, she can't. Another one? That's really unfortunate. She's dead. I was not paying enough attention there. That means we have to redo this one to get her the XP, which is even more annoying. Nope, she's not dead yet. She's at 1. Or she's at literally her last health, though. Move here. Potion of healing on her. She heals 2. He still doesn't have his cure in hand, unfortunately. Okay. This is the best person to accidentally take the hit if we need to. There's only 1 blessing left, is the good news. Don't want to burn most of these, I don't think, because if we burned them right now, they have to draw more, basically. Improved aid, we get a chance to reroll. Perfect. And that'll be good for him. We get to draw. Perfect. Somebody else gets to fight this guy. We'll have Harlem do it. Did I do that wrong? I think I did. This should do it. Okay. Phew, that was close. Yet again, I have to thank you. It was only a matter of time before that creature murdered me as it did my brother. It appears some madness overcame Pseudo in the end. Did he indicate what he hoped to accomplish by capturing you? He wanted me to join his crusade against the people of Sandpoint. When I refused, he took me captive and imprisoned me beneath the glassworks. Before he locked me away, he alluded to blackmailing our father or someone named Nualia. If what he said is true, my father helped the goblins infiltrate Sandpoint. True, your father also has much to atone for. We may have a chance to head off further disaster and find this Nualia. I think he said something like Thistle something. I know it was a goblin name. Thistletop. Okay. So we succeeded. That was a little rough at times, but we got through. Okay. And we get to up one of our powers. This is one I'm actually very excited about. Let's see what the Crusade Upgrade does, quick. At the start and end of your turn, and if it's a boon, put it on the bottom. You may discard the top card of your deck to get 1d6 plus 1. If it was a blessing, recharge it. The top card was a spell or blessing, recharge it. Okay, so that one's decent. Hand size plus 1. And she already has weapon, armor, proficiency. So I think we do Crusade. Ceaseless Crusade is pretty good. I don't use the Inspired Grace that much. Maybe I would use it more if there were less risk to discarding it. But I feel like most of the time I end up losing something I want. So I think we'll go Ceaseless Crusade. Hand size, we don't want to increase because that actually is dangerous. Expanded Spellbook. After you play a spell with the Arcane trait, you may examine the top part of your deck. Eldritch Exuberance. When you acquire a magic card, you can immediately explore again. And I guess we just do improved recovery. Oh, he doesn't have recovery at all yet. Okay, so yeah, we'll take recovery. Extra chance to get a card for that. Yes. The end of your turn, if you did not use the Scout Ahead, you may examine the bottom card of your location deck. Okay, so you can basically choose to examine either the top or bottom card. That's kind of cool. That's just an extra +1 on the bonus. I mean, the +1s are nice. I feel like Reconnaissance is probably the best. We have times where we already know what the top card is, where Scout Ahead is not useful, where Reconnaissance would be nice to just be able to tell what's not in the deck, or what we're not going to run into. And I think for him, we just take Weapon. That means that now he gets to use his full dexterity mod or his full dexterity die using his bow instead of using a d4. Um, it basically means we can get more bonuses with certain things. I feel like that's probably pretty good. He also doesn't have a lot of good options beyond that. I mean, not that there's something wrong with the other ones, but yeah. So Poog is definitely going into somebody's deck. Like, this is probably the best ally we've found. +3 to a combat check, blank check, or 1d4 random cards from your discard pile come back. That feels pretty good. I kind of want to use it here because it gives her another way to explore. And if she ends up losing her cure, this gives her a way to get it back. I don't feel like Foxglove is that good. I don't feel like this guy is that good. Soldier is 1d4 to a melee. Actually, that could be good for her as well. She's the only melee character we've got, really. Yeah, so now he gets to... I think the way that this works is now that he's proficient with weapons, he now gets to use the ranged skill. I could be wrong on that. If I am, I'm going to be very disappointed. You may additionally discard this. Difficulty. That's why his checks were so high. The difficulty of this check is increased by 4. I totally missed that. Cool. I've been doing that, making that way harder on myself for quite a while. Good to know. I think we're good on all of these. I don't think I want Lamash2. Bury this. Add 2 dice to any check to defeat a monster. After you play this card, if the top card have discard to explore. Maybe not. Defeat a monster. I mean, I guess. I don't think we've got anything good there. I think we're okay on spells for everybody. Two Acid Arrow, Force Bolt, 2 Force Missile, Shocking Splash, Lightning Touch. Yep. Yep. Good there. Don't even have any spare armor. Honestly, that's probably fine. I'm kind of tempted to do something else instead of the Codex here. He does have a good way to recover this, at least. But most of the time, he's pretty good at getting boons anyway. Like, I tend to send him after stuff that he's good at getting. Honestly, I'm kind of tempted to throw another Thieves' Tools in. Thieves' Tools are really good. And just free discard to get past a barrier feels good. Sure. Spyglass, Boots of Elven Kinematic are fine. Holy Symbol, Wand of Force Missile. Okay, I'm having second thoughts about this one, actually. I think we do this. There we go. So this basically becomes another copy of Force Missile for him. That he can recharge. Another way to recharge a spell base, or to attack things and recharge. That's right. I remember why I did it that way now, and that was so that if he fails, if he loses his bow, he has a way to get it back. But he has 2 cures. I'm probably overthinking this. I like this better. Nobody gets the Wand of Force Missile. Ah. I kind of like that. Checks to acquire an item. Explore, explore, explore. Survival checks and explore. Perception check. On combat wisdom. So now he should be able to use the archer with his bow. Okay, yeah, we'll try it. We already have one of those. Okay. A little bit longer one, but I'm sure we're going to run into that more and more as we go. So, hopefully you are still enjoying this. If you are, please give me a like and subscribe. Check out the other content on my channel. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments. And as always, have a good one. We'll catch you next time.